Good morning and welcome to Little by Little, a short time in God's Word. Today, April 24th, we've got 1 Samuel 28 and 29, Psalms 109, and Matthew chapter 11. And we're going to eventually get to Matthew chapter 11, but 1 Samuel 28, we got Saul getting a little freaked out because the Philistines are near, and he calls upon the Lord, he asks God, and God is silent. And that happens, right? But what he does next, in the next verse there, is where the problems occur, right? And instead of waiting on the Lord, instead of, okay, God hasn't answered, I need to keep praying. Remember, we're near the end of Saul's life here, though he doesn't know it yet. And so it's already been determined that the kingdom's passing on from him, and he's just not in a good place. And so instead of waiting on the Lord, continuing to seek the Lord, trusting God, he turns to a medium, like someone who's consulting, and it's a mess. And on the other hand, chapter 29, kind of at the same time, you got David hanging out with Philistines, and he's been going and raiding and doing all these things and kind of doing the opposite of what the Philistines think he's doing, but they kind of like, yeah, he's a good guy, he's with us. And then finally, some of the Philistine rulers are like, I don't think we should have this guy on our team, And so David's like, well, what have I done? It's very strange to be trying to justify to your enemies that you should be kept around, right? Chapter 11 of Matthew, Jesus is going over some things with the disciples, and John's in prison at this time, and kind of like having some moments of doubt because things aren't going how he thought they were going to go, and they didn't turn out necessarily how. And so Jesus gives him the response in verses 5 and 6. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, those with leprosy are cleansed, and the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the poor are told the good news, and blessed is the one who isn't offended by me. And then he kind of directs his attention to the crowd and talks about John the Baptist, and then how John is the fulfillment of the prophets leading up to the Messiah. And so it shows us, in John's life, that it's not enough to believe and then just sort of ride on the coattails. It's ongoing faith and walking with the Lord that we all need. And John just needed that encouragement and that reminder that, yeah, I am he. And so when Jesus addresses the crowd and he walks through what John did and who he is, and he said, hey, if you have ears to hear, listen. Like, this is good stuff. What John has done is prepared the way. It should be clear, it should be obvious, and yet he's going to talk about the generation who kind of are not happy with either direction of John or of Jesus, and you're just not getting it. And he's kind of sad about that, but also a little upset. And so we have the opportunity to live in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation today, where many people don't even know Jesus and very little about him. And so we get to not just prepare the way, we get to tell about who he is and what he has done. Till next time, keep growing little by little.